E.T. the Extraterrestrial is known as one of the greatest films of all time. It's also warm-hearted and so adventurous. However, there has been several deleted scenes that have never saw the light of day, to which there is one deleted scene entirely that was really different. That one deleted scene that was shown was after E.T. heals Elliot. E.T. begins to wear a bathrobe and walk over to Elliot's mom while she's sleeping. E.T. would have placed Reese's Pieces on her pillows and walk away. That deleted scene was a strange one, and it fell into obscurity until 2012. That was the year when we get two pictures, one which was the actual scene, and the other one was in between takes, like behind the scenes. It was officially stated that this scene was actually removed from the final version of the film. Now that the film is released, the scene was nowhere to be found. It's unknown if there's any copies of this film with this scene, to which it probably won't resurface at this point. King Kong is a 1933 film. It was known as one of the greatest films of all time. Despite that the film had never got an Oscar, there has been several deleted scenes throughout the years. One of the deleted scenes was a brontosaurus killing 3 sailormen. Another deleted scene it was shown was King Kong falling the Empire State Building. The scene was cut because it looked too unrealistic and it doesn't look so real. Yet another deleted scene was King Kong climbing down from the mountains. It was cut because it would intervene with the scene and the movie. However, there is one scene that was deleted entirely. It was called the infamous Spider Pit deleted scene. There is one obvious reason why the scene was cut, and it actually had a better reason than every other deleted scene. It was because the scene was actually terrifying. It showed gore throughout the film. Even though it does intervene with the movie, it was actually terrifying for viewers alike when there was test screen. Because due to the dark tone of the movie, it was actually cut, although its existence is actually unconfirmed at this point because there's not any evidence to tell if it's even real, even though there's a Peter Jackson remake of it. The spider pit scene is not completely lost. It was shown in the 2005 King Kong movie. However, it's not the same as the 1933 version. But the 1933 version has never been seen since then, and is unlikely given of its history.
The Search for Mickey Mouse is a 2002 Disney animated film that would have been made for Mickey's 75th anniversary. However, the film was canceled around the same year due to story problems. The plot would involve Mickey being mouse-napped. This would cause Minnie to call in the detective known as Basil of Baker Street. It's up to Minnie, Basil, Donald, and Goofy to search all over the world for Mickey. The movie was rumored to be released in 2012 as Walt Disney Animated Studios' 50th movie. Unfortunately, Tangled was the studio's 50th movie in 2010, proving that the rumor was all made up. Around December 19, 2002, the movie was officially canceled in favor for a production on The Three Musketeers. Since then, no evidence of any footage or screenshots has existed.
South Park isn't well known to lost media over gaming. Despite that the show causes controversy over the years, there is one game that was suddenly abandoned. This 2005 cancel game was originally going to be released on the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and Nintendo GameCube at the time. It also would have been the first open-world game to the series, developed by BuzzMonkey Studios and published by Ubisoft. The game would have had similar gameplay to games like Grand Theft Auto and The Simpsons Hit and Run at the time. All 4 boys would have been playable, and secondary characters from the first 8 seasons as well. It also had a multiplayer component that features racing and combat. Despite that the game was nearly close to being completed, it was scrapped for unknown reasons until it was rediscovered by an old Xbox developing kit. To this day, gameplay footage of this game is very scarce, making it difficult to find.
This one was a strange one. Tom and Jerry is one of the most well-known cartoons of the 20th century. It's about a mouse named Jerry and a cat named Tom, who actually chases each other and try to damage themselves. They've been since the 40s to the 60s. Tom and Jerry are not very well known to Lost Media. However, there is a cartoon that actually ended up on Lost Media. The cartoon is called Yankee Doodle Mouse. It's not completely lost, but there is a scene that actually is removed from the final version of the cartoon. I felt like this deleted scene is actually a bit more controversial because it actually took place during World War II in 1943. When the cartoon was reissued in 1951, the deleted scene was never shown, making it truly lost. Although some people claim that it was the MGM fire back in 1965, however, there's no proof to it. The deleted scene would have involved Jerry running back to his mouse hole. However, Tom is actually in hot pursuit, to which he actually goes into the mouse hole with his head, to which he actually gets stuck, and Jerry uses his tongue for his stamps. He does it in the stamp book, to which it reads a message. The message says that Emily gets in a few good licks. I felt like this message would have been a bit more controversial at the time. However, that has never been proven. Although many fans thought that this scene is actually permanently lost for good. However, there is a print for it, which is in black and white, to which is the only known source to tell that this deleted scene even existed. For now, this deleted scene is gone for good.
SpongeBob SquarePants is one of the most beloved TV shows in the world. The Sponge has been creating Krabby Patties, blowing bubbles, and having fun with his friends since his first appearance on May 1st, 1999. However, during the 9th season, there are 2 episodes that has never saw the light of day. These episodes are called SpongeBob Invader Pants and Krabs Army. There's very little information known about these episodes other than that they exist. While Krabs Army doesn't have a plot at all, SpongeBob Invader Pants does. It involves SpongeBob and his friends trying to make contact with alien life. These episodes were announced by Nickelodeon around 2014 or 2015 as new SpongeBob episodes for the summer of the latter year. Once it passed, the episodes were never seen at all. Vincent Walker, the storyboard artist, stated that they didn't make it past storyboard. We didn't feel like they were worthy of your attention. Since then, only SpongeBob Invader Pants has some evidence to prove its existence. Meanwhile, Krabs' Army has no evidence at all, making it truly lost forever. Although fans claim that Krabs' Army would have been very close to the Season 3 episode Plankton's Army. However, there's no evidence to prove this.
Cartoon Network Backlot Party was a proposed party game that would have been released on the Nintendo Wii and 3DS in 2015. However, the game was halted, implying the game to be officially cancelled. The game was developed by Game Machine Studios and published by Little Orbit. The game would have invited players to experience Cartoon Network's famous characters hanging out and partying after a week of acting on their respective shows. This would have included 24 characters from 5 shows, such as Adventure Time, Regular Show, Ed, Edd and Eddy, The Amazing World of Gumball, and Courage the Cowardly Dog. The minigames would have included dodgeball, basketball, backyard chase, girl trouble, and more. Around October of 2014, no details of the game had been released since then. Sadly, the game will never see the light of day.
Totally Spies is not well known to lost media either. However, unlike Tom and Jerry, there was a few contents throughout the years that Totally Spies have been lost sometimes. For example, there are 2 things that Totally Spies have lost the most. Their pilot episode and their Korean dub. I'll be talking about the pilot episode first. Around the late 1990s, Marathon Media, now called Zodiac Media, have developed a pilot episode for Totally Spies. The pilot episode would have followed the very first episode of Totally Spies before the series even began. Well, the biggest changes between this pilot episode and the very first episode of the series was that their art style changed a lot. It looked completely different. Well, the most biggest change in the entire cartoon is that Alex was not Hispanic. Despite the show was greenlighted in 2001 by ABC Kids, the series actually became successful, lasting 6 seasons and even a movie. Despite being loved by many fans alike, the pilot episode has never been seen since then. The only evidence of this pilot episode's existence is a few screenshots and a Fox Kids promo. The Totally Spies Korean dub is a lost dub that has never been seen on Earth. However, unlike the pilot episode, the Korean dub is actually very scarce. It's very difficult to find any episodes that has involved this dub. Well, the intro for Totally Spies in Korean dub has been found somewhat, and their logo was also found in Korean, which is translated to Totally Spy. Now that the intro for the Totally Spies is found in Korean and their logo, the rest of the episodes remain lost. Even the pilot episode is still lost in Korean dub, to which it will never see the light of day. This one is an interesting one. On June 1979, a song appeared under Billboard chart, which was under DA's name, which is called Ready and Steady. But for many years, no one could find the song. Even fans and collectors alike were looking for the song for years, exactly 36 years, to which it was confirmed as a phantom record, even though it didn't exist. Auto music historian Joel Whitmer was the one who found every single song except for Ready and Steady. For a long time, nobody could find the song. To be fair, it was gone. Nobody can hear from it. Even DA had it. Nobody can ask DA about it, which was hidden until 2016. Luckily, the song was found in 2016 over in Minnesota, which is a podcast called Crap from the Past. Now the song is available online.